My GT3 was in a really bad accident.
Sad day.
But that meant I got it at a discounted price.
Wouldn't it?
And over the past 3 months, we've been working away at rebuilding the Porsche. And today, I finally get to drive it properly.
This has been one of the most challenging rebuilds yet, especially as Porsche in the US won't sell us structural parts.
They want only certified body shops to work on.
So we've had to buy them in the UK, package them up and take them over ourselves. We've now completed the structural repair.
Things are going smoothly so far.
Oh, don't say that.
The car is painted and it's finally time to finish it for good.
My old GT3 that got crashed is actually living on through another YouTube guy by the name of Matt Armstrong.
Okay, there's quite a lot to do, including the front of the car, the back of the car, and the door. All of this has been painted. Issue with having it painted is that you've got to strip apart the whole door and a lot of the trims to do so, and now we've got to put it all back together.
And we weren't the ones who took this thing apart. Jack stripped the door down whilst we was away. But we're going to try and put this thing back together without asking for his help. And putting the door handle on was fairly tricky. Although in this edit, it looks like we did it in a matter of seconds, it took a lot longer than that. These door handles aren't your normal door handles. They pop out from the door.
Yeah!
Now that we've got the handle on, it's time for the wing mirror. You have to guide the wiring down through the door and then slide the wing mirror into the door. And that's held in with one single bolt. But you've got to remember to route the wiring correctly, else the window could catch it when it comes down. But once that was plugged in, we were good to go.
That's a lovely t-shirt you have there, Tony. Where'd you get that from?
Well, I've got no idea.
Next step, the window. This again isn't a straightforward job. When you open the door on the Porsche, the window is supposed to drop, so you have to get the window adjusted perfectly. And before I adjust the window, I've got to put all the seals and trim around the door. And once they're in, I can close the door and check where the window sits and adjust the window up or down accordingly to make sure it's sitting in the right place. And once I'm happy with the position of the window, I go back inside and tighten both the clamps up to lock it in place.
What do you think, Matt?
No, press it close. Actually, yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah. I think that's actually pretty close.
Like it's like that?
No, look, even Tony, come over here and I guarantee Tony says it's good.
Well, in my opinion, it's still low.
Oh.
But at the front, do you think that's good?
Yeah, that's pretty good, isn't it?
I then hired the back of the window a tad higher and locked it back down.
20 mil. No way, that's good.
No, that's definitely less.
Look, that sits nice and snug in there. If anything, it's better it being higher because it's going to sit nice in the seal. Confirmed. Shut up, Matt.
Next step is all the electronics which sit in the door, which really only was a speaker. Then the door card can go back on. And Porsche like to hide all the bolts, which makes it look really nice when it's done. And that is the full interior complete.
Next step, the rear bumper, the rear lights, the spoiler, the top piece for the spoiler, and all the electrics which go on the back. Whether we can remember how this thing went is a different story, but I think the car will start to look more complete once this is all on it. So we've got to build this bumper up first and get it on the car. Let's do it.
Again, the bumper is built up of loads of components. The American registration plate holder is bolted from the back.
Fake. Genuine fake.
And yes, to my surprise, there was fake grills which sit in the back of the bumper.
Oh, I'm just a genius.
And a few more satisfying clicks later, the registration plate lights, the camera, and now the Porsche badge is all on the bumper and it's ready to be mounted to the car. And the famous light bar, which runs all the way across the back of the car. Before we went any further, we wanted to test it worked.
Yeah? Are you up?
Yeah.
Right, brakes.
No. Yay!
Next up, I thought it was the ducktail, but I could be wrong.
You're definitely wrong. There's no way it'd be done that way.
Yeah, this might go on.
Yeah, that's last.
Yeah, that's last.
Okay.
I was wrong. This big panel goes on first, which is also the engine hatch to top up your coolant and oil. Then the ducktail goes on. and then my dad just puts on the final piece.
Flap. You plug that in, yeah?
What in?
That.
What?
Oh no.
Turn the car on.
The engine hatch now didn't open.
How are we gonna get that open? We're gonna have to break it. Oh! Did you get it off?
No, this side out. There's only this wire. Oh no, this wire, there it is. That's going to make it go in.
Oh, you didn't plug it in there?
There was only one wire.
Yeah.
And I said we can plug it in when it's on. And we didn't plug it in.
He said he plugged it in to me.
I did hear him say he plugged it in.
Yeah.
Plug this side in.
Yay!
That makes sense because they've put that there so that you don't plug in that side and forget. Whereas if you do it that side.
Yeah, or if the switch breaks, you can open that and put 12 volts to it to pop it out.
Well done, Porsche.
Well done, Porsche. I like that. Okay. Wang.
The final piece to finish the rear end of the car, the swan neck spoiler, which is self-explanatory to fit. Then in goes the rear arch lining.
Scene 1, take 594.
And then the side skirt goes on, which clips into place on the side, and then you have to crawl underneath the car and tighten up a few half-turn bolts. It is really coming together now. We could then pay our attention to the front of the car.
We are legit Porsche people now. This is all of the parts that are ready to go on, but remember we put all this suspension on and we're going to get this checked over by Porsche, so we want to be legit, which is why we've got this. And check this out, we've got all the torque specs for the front subframe and all of the suspension components as well, so everything needs to be torqued up. We're going to run around, do that now, mark every single bolt, and then we've got the front end to do. A small but vital piece, ducting for the radiator on this side, which I also believe these two electrical connectors will go in the hole there, which should be the ambient air temperature sensor. Now, my dad doesn't think, but I think, that's the reason why the fans are on constantly, because he has no idea what the outdoor temperature is, but we'll find out when we install the new temperature sensor. Let's get this on.
But shortly after putting the shroud on, I found another electrical plug which wasn't plugged into anything. We tried to figure out where it went.
We've just googled the part number, Volkswagen part number. This is used on a TT. It looks like it's normally used for parking sensors, but we're all in mutual agreement, and the jury is in on this, that this is for parking sensors and the GT3 doesn't have parking sensors, so this just chills here doing nothing, we think. But we'll find out when we plug the car in later.
It is quite common for different models of cars to have the same wiring loom, which also means different models might have things like parking sensors which other models don't have, which then would leave some electrical connectors doing nothing. We hope that's the case. So whilst Jack and my dad were assembling the front bumper, I started to bolt on the freshly painted wings. There's a few bolts on the inside of the wing, there's then a crash sensor which mounts to it, and then all the bolts which run along the top of it. I then went to check out my alignment with the door. As you can see, I was amazed.
It looks good from here. Yeah, that's as far as you need to look at it from.
With the front wing lined up, it's time for the washer bottle to go in. This sits inside of the wing in a pretty tricky place. There's only one bolt that holds that in place. Then the washer lines come up and guide into the bonnet. Up goes the filler cap, and you've got to bolt that down. Then the sprayers which spray the fluid onto the windscreen just clip into place. And finally, I can slide the headlight in place.
Welcome to my workshop. This side is the broken headlight, and this side is a brand new headlight I had to buy from Porsche. £2,200 for this, which actually doesn't sound too bad, but it's just a skeleton of a headlight. There is nothing in it, so there's no xenons on it like these little controllers here. Luckily they're in one piece ish. And inside there's all sort of fans and everything which cool the xenons down. So we've got to open all of that, switch it all over. So my dad's gonna do that. Do it.
There's quite a lot of components and computers inside a modern day headlight, and I imagine each one of them is going to be pretty expensive. So I'm hoping this new headlight's going to work with all the old components in it. And after I'd fitted the passenger side wing, we went to test it out.
Whilst my dad's making a few adjustments, we would just want to see whether both the headlights work before we carry on. Here we go. We know we have a history with headlights.
Wow.
Are they on?
They're on.
They're both on?
Yeah.
Hey! Flashing,
Yeah.
indicating. Oh, we don't have an indicator, do we? Yeah, they look cool. Good news.
My dad had then finished building up the front bumper and wanted to do a big reveal.
The big reveal. 3, 2, 1.
After an anticlimactic big reveal, I started to get the car ready for the new front bumper.
Putting the temp sensor in. Well, I don't think that it will solve the fan problem, because I think the fan problem's caused by the air conditioning. But my son thinks different.
Everything was now ready for the front bumper. This is going to be the first time I've ever seen the car with a complete front bumper on. The bumper also consists of some wiring, which I've got to make sure to plug in. And then it's just a case of bolting it all down. And finally, there's 2 indicators which sit each side of the bumper. And I bought the Euro spec ones, which I believe are black, as opposed to the American ones, which are amber. And then last, but certainly not least, the Porsche badge on the bonnet.
Yeah, boy. Sick. We was bound to miss one part. And that would be the arch liner. We missed the front right arch liner. Luckily, I've called Porsche and it should be here tomorrow. But we may have to go down there to get it fitted, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Potentially, they could check over the car. We'll see. Final touches. But what we've got to do now is see if we've got any codes. We shouldn't have codes, but we could have codes, and the car may need to be driven to clear them, but hopefully not. We'll find out.
There's a lot of lights on the dash,
Okay, here we go.
and we're about to find out why.
It says check tyres.
We've checked. They're not here.
So scan the...
First off, I scanned the car to see loads of historic faults, which will all need to be cleared, as we've done a lot of work since then.
Okay. Quick erase. Let's do it.
And after I cleared them, these are the faults that stayed.
Well, they're moved when you...
Right, I'm interested in the airbag. Multiple collision brake, no function. What does that mean?
And some of them really puzzled us. Although I replaced all the airbags, we still had an airbag warning light. And the diagnostic tool was telling me that it's still registering a frontal crash. And no matter how hard I tried, it would not clear the code. Which left me thinking, do I need a special tool to cancel the airbag fault? Another problem was telling me that the front right wheel speed sensor was shorting to ground. And again, no matter how hard I tried to clear it, it still persisted. So there's got to be an issue with that wheel speed sensor. And if we don't fix it, we'll have no ABS or no traction control. When we went on the live data, it was thinking that the front right wheel was doing over 3,000 kilometers an hour, which definitely wasn't right. So we needed to check some wiring out. Right, we can't see any break in the wires up there. So now we're wondering whether it's the fault with the wire that runs to the ABS sensor. So we're going to switch over this wire
from this side to the other side and see if we get the same fault. And then if we do get the same fault on that side, we know it's that wire. But if we don't, it's got to be something further up the line.
And after my dad got the wire off, he found the issue.
There.
Yes. Yes. That's it. The tiniest little thing. Oh, there you go. It's broken. There it is.
There you go.
That's the fault. Yes.
So whilst my dad repaired the wiring, I started to put the wheels on.
Oh my God. Now, would Adam LZ like these alloys? I think there was a video where he said he might do them champagne coloured, and now he's gonna get to see this one and see what they would have looked like. He might throw up. Oh, it looks wicked. Woo. That looks good, doesn't it?
That does look very good, to be fair. I wasn't sure, but
Oh
now it's
my
on the
God,
car.
that looks so good.
Now this has got me really excited.
And massive thanks to Wheelmania for sorting these alloys out as well, because I wasn't actually going to stay with the HRE alloys because they were really expensive, but Wheelmania actually made it happen. I get all my wheels and tyres from there, and it didn't even change even if I'm in America. So massive thanks to those guys.
And with the back wheels almost on, I can finally see what the new colour looks like against the purple. My dad had finished the wiring and he could start to put it back on the car. And we can run the diagnostic tool to see if it's fixed the wheel speed issue.
Right, that's all in. I'm going to erase all the codes and then we'll see if we get any back. Clearing code. Hey up. Is the ignition on? Yeah. Yeah, okay, leave it. The airbag just passed with no faults.
We think after trying to clear the airbag codes,
How's that happened?
we should have turned the car off and let it sit for a while. Because now there's no more faults.
Oh my God. How have we done this?
Is that it? Tyre pressure sensor, is that it?
The only two warnings we've got, tyre pressure sensor warning 1, 3,
That's going to be obvious.
and the driver assist front camera video wiring open circuit. If you remember that plug on the
the
front,
brown plug.
there must have been a front camera, but not for this car. There's no place here for a front camera, is there? There's not a place. No, I'm calling it. I think we're good.
I think we get the wheels on.
Let's get the wheels on. Let's do it.
This was it. Hours of travelling and hours of rebuilding and sourcing parts have all led up to this moment right now.
BM or Ben.
Of course, we've got license and registration sorted in the US, and the GT3 is about to be back on the road for the first time since the accident.
Looks so good with those wheels. Wow. Now, let's see if the fans run. We haven't gassed the aircon yet, but the ambient air temperature sensor is on, and we have a reading of 74 Fahrenheit. Check tyres. Any fans?
No, can't hear it.
No fans?
No fans.
I think my dad was wrong. The fans are not on at the minute anyway. That's okay. Engine control error, I don't really know what that is. Maybe we just drive it. Service required. Doors open. I think we're about ready for the first drive. It's first drive properly time. Proper time. Let's get it out. at that. Oh my god. That is too sick. Wow. Oh my god. Is this even like real? Is it even real? Wow. Here it is. The first time on the road in the US in a GT3. This car's got an amazing story so far. It's a little weird changing gear with my right hand, but everything seems to be working-ish. This is so good. Although we've cleared all the faults, we still have an engine light on the dashboard, and I think it's in like a soft limp mode because it almost feels like it should have more power than it does. I mean, the tracking is out, that needs to be done, but look, it doesn't let me take it above 3k, above 6k rev, so here we go. And it's like a rev limiter as soon as I hit it. It's got to be in a limp mode, and I've got a feeling I know why. What a car, but we've got to get it out of limp mode.
Oh, we forgot to fit this.
It looks like we forgot to fix something. Thanks so much for watching this video. We haven't got time to do that just yet, but if you enjoyed it, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. No, it ain't. You're chatting shit. Talking rubbish.
It's on.
No, you ain't. It ain't on.
It's on. What does it do?
Nothing. Oh wow.
Ooh.
Put it in rice.
Yeah. Yep. I think we're past that point.
Like a drug that